We are all connected. Energy is everywhere, and all over the world, people are finding different ways to produce energy. But what some countries do not realize is that their energy production can have a harmful effect on the environment. This chart displays the energy consumption around the world. As you can see, oil, coal, and natural gas are the most common forms of energy usage. Nuclear energy, hydroelectricity, and renewable resources are not as commonly used around the world. Coal is used as energy all around the world. However, in the U.S. and China, coal is the #1 source of energy. The advantages of using coal are that it's easily extracted and transported. It is also less costly than other resources. However, one main disadvantage are the greenhouse gases released during its combustion. Burning coal generates CO2, which contributes to the greenhouse gas emissions, impacting the climate. Acid rain is also a factor. Coal combustion also releases sulfur dioxide. Once in the atmosphere, sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen to make sulfuric acid. This creates acid rain, a combination of acid and rainwater. This damages forests and runoff pollutes water supplies. Another disadvantage is that coal mining is very dangerous and presents health risks to miners posed by dust and gases. Petroleum is used as energy all over the world. In Russia, it is the #1 source of energy. Some advantages of using petroleum as energy are that it is one of the most abundant resources. It's easy to transport and use, and it's relatively inexpensive. Also, no new technologies are needed. Some disadvantages of using petroleum as energy are that the greenhouse gas emissions are released, and also acid rain. These are topics that were discussed in the coal as energy slide. Another disadvantage are the pollution of water and earth. Oil spills can occur and lead to the death of thousands of animals and fish every year, and also devastate sea life and plants. Growth in terrorism and violence also presents itself as an issue. Oil is drilled in places like Saudi Arabia and African countries where the government is a dictatorship. The oil money goes directly to those leaders who make trillions of dollars. They give rise to growth in violence and terrorism and suppress those who try to speak out against them. Another disadvantage is that petroleum leads to the production of very harmful and toxic materials during refining. These materials are plastic and carbon monoxide. The sun is used as an energy source globally. However, in Germany, they rely heavily on solar energy. Some advantages to using solar energy is that the power source of the sun is absolutely free. Also, the production of solar energy produces no pollution or greenhouse gas emissions. The technological advancements in solar energy systems have made them extremely cost-effective as well, and most systems have a lifespan of 30 to 40 years. The biggest disadvantages of solar energy production is the fact that it's not constant. To produce solar electricity, there must be sunlight, so energy must be stored or sourced elsewhere at night. It is also said that solar energy is quite inefficient. However, the biggest disadvantage of solar energy is the cost. Purchasing and installing solar panels is actually quite pricey. Many countries use nuclear power as energy. One country that uses a lot of nuclear energy is France. Some advantages of using nuclear power as energy is that it is clear power with no atmospheric emissions. It is also a useful energy source, and fuel can be recycled. It also has low-cost power for today's consumption. However, nuclear power as energy has many disadvantages as well. It has the potential of high-risk disaster, and the waste produced does not have a place to be put. Another disadvantage is that natural disasters can cause damage and leak at plants. Also, the construction of nuclear power plants is highly politicized. Denmark uses wind as energy, and it produces 20% of their energy from wind turbines. Some advantages of using wind as energy are that it is very continuous, and it is also very clean. No emissions are produced into the atmosphere, and it produces no health-damaging air pollution or acid rain. Land can also be used to produce energy and grow crops simultaneously. Wind energy is also very economical. Some disadvantages are that in most locations, wind density is low. Wind velocity must be greater than 7 miles per hour to be usable in most areas. The problem exists in variation of power density and duration, which means that this is not reliable. You also need a better way to store the energy, and wind energy takes up lots of space. This video shows how different countries produce energy. It is important to recognize the advantages and disadvantages that affect the whole world. For example, the coal being burned in China affects us here in the USA because of its greenhouse emissions. It is important that we all work together as a whole to help our environment stay healthy, because at the end of the day, we are all connected and everything affects everyone.